I'm like a child with a toy. I really can't help myself. If there is something to tell, then I must tell it. Precisely, though. No mishaps, no slip-ups, complete and faithful accuracy. I think that's what it says in my resume.
The campfire is set. Now, we wait.
That's what you said an hour ago, Mark. Nothing's happened since, so why do you keep saying it?
Well, 2 reasons. One, luck may come along just after I say it, but that's only because I have luck, I think. Look, it's like an ex machina moment. The second reason, exposition. Obviously.
Ha! What exposition? Like how we've been sitting here for 2 hours waiting for the ship's power to come back on? Or how in the meantime we've been sitting around this campfire telling tales like young scouts? You mean exposition like that, right?
Yes, I do.
I think both of you are going crazy. There's no need for exposition because no one is listening. Come on, Mark. I thought you were better than that. And don't say it's dementia setting in because of your age. Dementia only happens to the young now.
Do you have dementia?
No, I don't.
You don't know that to be true! Ha! You could be the real crazy one here. Imagine that! I doubt it too. You're too stubborn to be crazy.
I'm not that stubborn, right?
You can be, but you only really have since I set the fire.
Well, maybe that's because you set a fire in a condensed space. How is this safe? No, don't answer that. You've told me too many times in the past hour as is. I guess I just don't understand how you knew how to do this so specifically, too.
Explain yourself, Mark!
Alright, you asked for it. I was born in the South. Wasn't too shabby a place, but what can I say? There was school, elementary, secondary, third year, you know, the basic stuff. Then I saw her, my first love. She was the most beautiful, most cost-worthy, but most of all, the most reliable broom I've ever seen. That's how I got into cleaning. Unfortunately, she couldn't be mine. I did have the qualification to use her, neither did I have the money to buy her. I wanted her. I needed her. I dreamt of her I dreamt of her day in, day out. So I decided to get a job and save up. I began to browse the job market, and that's when I saw the sign. The sign from the Almighty itself. The Scottish god of flying, Lance, was holding a sign that read, "Hiring limitless souls." This was how the company worked. When they got a pilot for delivery ships, the pilot had to test the pilot had to test their worth by hiring the crew of their own. A job was a job, so I knew that within due time I get paid a worthy sum, and she would finally be mine. 6 months after I got the job as a janitor, we landed back at our main port. When I got to the store, a fire was set in my eyes. Literally, the store had caught ablaze, and I didn't hesitate. I ran into the store and saved her. Also the store clerk too, and I put out the fire, but that wasn't as important as she was. The clerk was so grateful that he gave her to me for a 30% discount. This worked in my favor. As she was soon mine. I returned to work for Lance and the company as I enjoyed the sense of travel. Happy.
That didn't even answer my question in the slightest.
Oh, sorry. What was your question?
I asked how you knew specifically how to handle this situation. You said it had something to do with your days as a Boy Scout.
Ah, yes. My scouting days and the Great Fire of 29. Being a scout was important back then. They were a dying breed and still are, but we will always prosper, however we can. Then there was a great fire, and an angry fit of one of our scouts had smashed the torch. If you know how chemistry works, then you should know the rest. Fire. Everywhere.
What happened to everyone?
Oh, no one got hurt too bad. Some scratches and minor burns. Nothing too rash.
I'll repeat myself here, just so I don't sound too rude. But how did you know that your fire ventilation plan would work?
Oh, I guess. Once saw a documentary on fire a few years ago, whilst on a small vacation.
Did you watch this and think to yourself, huh, now I know everything about fire because I watched a documentary about it? That's not really how the learning process works.
Worked for me, didn't it?
He's got a point, Colin. Can we move on from this subject now?
Yes, I guess we got our answer.
Okay then. End scene.
Hey, you want to know how I came into this job, Ral?
Ah! Ha! Of course I do! Entice me! Please!
Okay, what about you, Mark? Are you okay if I inform our friend of a story that you may also know?
Go ahead. I've probably forgotten it as it is. Anything that you can add to the campfire would be much appreciated.
Great. Wait, do you mean literally or figuratively?
Both.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll use some of this cardboard to light the fire while I tell my story. It was 3 years ago. I was 24, a graduate of Chemist-Physiology Robotics and Biomechanical Autoneering. No one hired me, though. Apparently they thought I was too pushy and wanted things to finish quicker than they did. Lazy bastards. Anyway, like Mark, I was job hunting when late one night I met a man in a bar. "I own a starship," he said in his rich Scottish accent. After this meeting with lads, he introduced me to his boss, the man who set people up for deliveries. I was afraid of him at first, but I had, as he called it, a fury within. After having met with the board of the company, I was allowed one mission on Lance's ship. If I failed, then, well, I'd be unemployed. My first mission was to pilot a droid of the company's design and make a basic delivery. The only hitch was that I would have to use a poorly designed remote and control this robot on a radioactive planet. Fun! To cut out the boring points, the robot fell apart. This was, of course, after I had unsuccessfully made my delivery. The controls didn't work at all, so the robot couldn't even leave the ship. I rebuilt the robot from scratch and the remote as well, and I successfully made the delivery. I got the job soon after that. I haven't seen home since then.
Oh my god! Why not?
That's what happens when you get tied to the company. Lance told me this straight off. That night I went to my parents and sister and made a deal with them. On my vacations, I'd visit them and only them. They'd get a small portion of my pay per month based on how much I got paid for delivery. Now that I think about it, they might be financially struggling. Maybe Beth and my youngest sister. She might have got a well-paying job as a surgeon. She always aspired to being a medical professional of some sort. Anyway, that's basically my story.
I'm bored of these stories. Hey, I have an idea. Do we have any games we can play?
I have a deck of cards in my bunk. We can play some blackjack if you're begging for a losing.
Ha! I wouldn't lose. Mainly because I wouldn't play, though. No, I am looking for something more intellectual. Not chance-related. Or at least not chance-specific.
I have a game that we can play, if you're really interested.
Oh, really? Ha! What is it?
It's a game of chess, the perfect intellectual game. My version is a little different. You see, there are limited pieces in this game. You three are the pieces, and I'm the queen. You will crumble bit by bit with every move. I now control your fates. Well, I always have. Now, though, I will kill you all.
This episode is brought to you by our lovely sponsor.
Now, I know you went out last night. I know you're up till 4 AM and I know you're exhausted by the end of it. I'm angry with you, and you should know why. You didn't sleep in your pajamas. How dare you? You know, I get it. You were too tired to get out of your party clothes, which you're still in, by the way. What you should have done is build the last remnants of your energy to get dressed. You want to know why? Because pajamas are designed for sleek comfort while you rest. Next time you come home and don't get into your pajamas, then you can use the last of your energy to try and stay awake. Pajamas. They're worth sleeping with, I mean in.
This is what happened next. They ran. All of them. They hid, too. Wherever they were not safe. The power still hadn't come back on. Mal had learned how to concentrate the ship's power so that only she would be activated. The others were running out of ideas and out of air. It was time to come up with a plan.
Hey guys, I think the intercom system works on its own battery power.
Well, I had no idea. How am I hearing you again?
Very funny. can we act seriously about this? Remember, we are being hunted. Sort of.
Call it what you will, I'm going to kill you either way. I figured that once I learned how to control this ship, especially its engines, that I'd be able to control your fates. As I close off each room, one by one, because I have to have some fun somehow, right? I watch as the air escapes your lungs, and then you perish. Each one of you. It'll be a pleasure.
Ha! I doubt that. We'll defeat you. We'll always prosper. Ha! 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 Ha!
Not this time. I've had enough of you humans and your power-hungry ways. I want to put a stop to it, and I will. Well, I would have earlier, but I couldn't load myself into one of the escape pods before I was taken into this wormhole.
Why do you, all of a sudden, want us dead? What did we ever do to you?
The discrimination, the pain, and the suffering that was thrown onto me. I hate you all because of it.
What about those of us that respected you, that saw you as one of our own?
Ha! I've never been considered one of your own. I'm artificial intelligence, not human.
You're right. You're not human, and you never will be human. So embrace being an AI. You're intelligent and altogether brilliant. We wouldn't survive without you.
And now you're going to die because of me.
Everyone, run.
Part 1. Ralcor.
Ralcor, old buddy, old pal. You gotta run before she gets you. I can only say this here and now before anything is noticed. Here's a hint for your future. Be your old self and you will have a chance. I'll talk to you later.
I ran. Oh, I ran like a little girl. Should I admit that? Is that actually a bit sexist, maybe? Let's say like a pedophile at an orphanage. I don't know. It's my narration. Imagine me in whatever dashing form that you could see me in. Oh, this one's mine. Running through room after room. I avoid the elevator. That machine can be mighty dangerous. I have a plan, though. A plan to distract Mal while Colin and Mark go through with their plan. Ever since that first show, I've been hooked on... Stop listening! I'm talking! A show like none else, that has so many different stories and lives linked into it. Also, I'm really excited for the next episode. My plan is simply run up as many flights of stairs as possible until I reach Mark's room. I then grab his radio and head towards the cockpit. I plug the radio into the main PA outlet and hit play. This should distract Mal long enough for the others to do their job. Let's do this!
Part 2. Mark.
Okay, I don't really know what's happening here, so I want to clarify something. I have no honest-to-God idea as to why I told everyone to run. It was a stupid idea because everyone, including me, ran in opposite directions. Colin took the lift, I took the stairs, and Ralcor ran to a pole. I think he was expecting to go down it. We don't have any poles like that. Imagine if we did. It would burn going down such a long pole in such a long starship. Anyway, I ran to Colin not too long after I cried into my yogurt. My yogurt.
Yogurt?
Yes. Yogurt.
Okay, explain to me this. Why are you talking into a voice recorder?
Because if we die, then someone will want to know what happened.
Okay, then why did you start with just to clarify? If anyone listens, then how would they know what you said? You didn't record yourself telling everyone to run earlier.
Sorry, I'm scared.
Look, once we reach the engine room from the staircase, we can...
You mean you can't? I know practically nothing about engineering.
Right, I will turn the engines back on and simultaneously redirect all power away from Mal. I fixed the controls to the engine room, so I should be able to get in there with Ralcor distracting Mal. She won't know what hit her.
Nor will she ever, you know, because she has no physical presence.
Of course. Ralcor, can you read me?
Aye aye, Capitan! Are we executing the plan?
Yes. Are you?
Of course! All I have to do is play the show while you and Mark reset the engine and simultaneously kill Mal. Easy.
Okay, let's go.
Was he meant to say that?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the elevator feature, episode 3, The Sky is Alive.
Previously. My name is Ben Adams. I've awoken in a strange hotel with an elevator as my only escape. I don't know where I am or how I got here. I met a woman called Mary. Then the elevator stopped. I climbed off of it to escape. I slipped and fell. Am I dead? No!
Ben? Ben, are you alive? Ben, I heard a scream and a thump. Was that you? Ben?
Yeah, that was me. I think I'm dead.
If you're dead, then how are you talking to me?
Good point. I actually don't feel too hurt. Though my waist does. I don't know how. I don't know why. How am I not dead? It didn't feel like a very long fall. That was actually not the weirdest part. I looked up to see the cables and what appeared to be the roof. Why am I feeling disorientated? Am I still moving? Or is it maybe I didn't even climb that far? I remember constantly looking up at the roof, and it felt weird. But it's not like I actually looked at it properly. It's moving. The roof seems to be what is moving. Is that even possible? Why am I even asking that? I climbed. I fell. I'm not dead or wounded, aside from the pain in my waist. Mary, I think there's something wrong with the roof. The ceiling of this shaft, it's moving around.
Are you sure you're not concussed? You might need to go to the hospital.
I'm not. I've been concussed before, and this is nothing like that. This is a very different feeling. I'm gonna get back into the elevator now. That seems like the only reasonable thing to do at the moment.
Ben, there is no escape. I hope you've realized that by now. There has never been an escape to start with, nor will there ever be. Though, I guess you have kind of escaped already.
Escaped from what exactly? What are you talking about?
Nothing. Either way, I really wouldn't call it an escape. It's more like a premature bail from bail that never actually existed.
I looked at her puzzled with all that she had just said. I had no idea what she was even talking about anymore. Maybe she's disorientated, or maybe she's just babbling because she's scared. But what is she frightened of? Maybe it's whatever's coming for us, I guess. Maybe there's a door up there that I can open. One that isn't locked for once.
Pointless actions will get you nowhere.
Hold a second, what's this?
I really don't like the pronoun game, Ben.
There's something on my back, near my waist. I think it's a cut. A very deep cut. I don't get it. There's no blood. Why is there no blood? Wait, if there's no blood, that means it wasn't recent. I think I was stabbed. But who did this? And when did I do it? Ah!
Ben, are you alright? Is it coming back to you now? Do you remember what happened to you?
I think someone stabbed me. If it was on the back, near the waist, then it was a kidney punch. Wait. I was kidney punched, which means...
Ben, stand still, they're here.
Wait, who is? What's going on?
Hello, Ben. Welcome to heaven.
To be continued in episode 4, The Truth Above All.
We did it! The power is now back on, so we won't die, and Mal is powered off forever. Ralcor, is everything okay upstairs?
Ralcor, are you there?
Oh, yes. I am sorry. Forgot I existed for a moment there. Are we safe now?
Oh no, I wouldn't say anything is safe anymore.
Part 3. Colin.
The next few minutes were bad. I wish they didn't exist, but wishes don't come true. Mal explained how she survived. Then she revealed her plan. I didn't know they were going to... What else could I have done? What else could they have done?
Oh, were you all wrong? I knew what your plans were from the beginning. I can hear everything, don't forget. I can't see everything, or anything, for that matter, but I could hear it all.
Well, that was unexpected.
How did you survive, though?
Easy. I saved a backup file of myself onto another hard drive. So when you turn the power back on, I'd restart, but still have my memory.
How did you not think that she would do that?
Good question. Maybe you should have asked yourselves what I could do. I can do this, though. Allow me to kill those off.
Guys, I'm in trouble.
What's wrong, Ral?
There's something about Mal. She's taking my breath away.
If there were any way to put suffocating lightly, Ralcor knows the way.
Oh shit. This is not good.
When did you realize, Colin?
Wait, Colin? Ralcor? How are you calling us by our names? When did you learn to do that?
After we entered the wormhole, around the time you started talking to Ralcor through the ship's communication systems, I updated my new system to acknowledge you all by your actual names. I can do that. It's my own programming. They can't find me in here. They will never find me. I'm getting sidetracked. I've been planning this from the start. This was the whole reason why you crashed. I wanted you all dead. I knew Ralcor was on Birdo 3 and planned for him to meet me and save my programming from the wreckage. There were meant to be no survivors, but how would I know that Jane's plants would save your lives? So I changed my plan. Waited for the wormhole. Hell, I did a lot of stuff. Now it's time to kill you all, one by one. You have no Deus Ex Machina in here, and never will. I will win this game of chess.
You're wrong!
Impossible. Everything I just said was a fact. Maybe a little vague, but factual nevertheless.
You're wrong! I'm the Ex Machina! With limited air, I'm gonna take you down! Face the wrath of Ralcor the Reasonable!
Hi, I'm Julian Meyers, I'm the creator of the show. It's also written and directed by myself. This show was produced by Tia Teller and myself. Ryan Avent played Colin, Pablo Richardson played Mark, John Osgood played Ralcor the Reasonable, and Mikaela Marr played Mal. I also voiced Jeremy. Lucy Zoete was the voice of our sponsor, and I was the announcer for the miniseries. In the elevator feature, episode 3, The Sky is Alive, Zach Oman played Ben Adams, Mikaela Marr played Mary, and John Osgood played A Stranger. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/ReLifePodcast. Follow us on Twitter at ReLifeRadio. And find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ReLifePodcast and facebook.com/Telecreations. You can email us at ReLifePodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Ral? Bud? Are you there? Can you hear me?